Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Night Sky This Week show. I hope you're doing well, staying safe and healthy wherever you are. I've got the chat room open, looking at wherever you guys are. I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky guy, columnist with National Geographic. So nice of you to join us. Did you get to do any sky watching this week? How about this weekend? Was it clear where you are? I had some little bit of clear spots in between clouds. It's getting pretty chilly here in Montreal, Canada, where I'm speaking to you live Monday afternoon at 1:11 p.m. If you're watching this in the future, sometime later this week, tune in. There's going to be a lot of stuff, jam-packed week this week in terms of the night sky. Lots of things to talk about. Greetings from all to you. I'm looking at where you guys are calling from. Looks like we've got folks from Southern California, Colorado, Northern Germany, England, Saskatoon, Ohio. Hello to all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining. We're here every week talking about what else? The night sky. All these amazing things that are in store for you every week. Every week, there's tons of things to see. And I focus in usually on things that are very easy to watch, no background really needed. Wherever you are in terms of sky watching, if this is maybe the first time you're tuning in and you're just thinking about seeing what it's all about, or maybe perhaps you've been involved in sky watching for a long time, maybe coming back to the hobby, perhaps. I hope you find something, some cool tidbits that are going to be useful for you in navigating the night sky. And I try to stay on some easy things, things that are casual. A few things I put in observing challenges, maybe perhaps with binoculars or telescopes, something to push the boundaries a little bit. That's always fun to do, right? So I've got that in store as well every week. So if you're new to this, do follow it. Follow me on whether you're watching on YouTube. Do subscribe to my channel. I invite you so you don't miss any video. Same thing for Facebook or Twitch if you're watching there. Do subscribe, follow me, and you won't miss on any of the cool things that I talk about every week. So let's jump right into it, guys. Well, first off, I'm going to share something that's on Monday night, October 19th. We'll bring up the planetarium software right here, and we can see right off the bat what's very cool tonight. Soon after the sun sets, wherever you are, you'll notice that there is a moon in the southwest, very low in the horizon. And this is a bit of a challenge. Maybe if we move it up a little bit into a few minutes before, let's see, I'm going to make it a little bit brighter, so I'm coming closer to the sunset time period. And what I want you to notice is the beautiful razor-thin crescent moon, right? You'll see that that's going to be low down in the horizon, just to the left of where the sun sets. And you'll notice underneath, now here's an observing challenge, there is a beautiful orange star positioned very close to the moon. And so again, this is for Monday, October 19th. Wherever you are, after sunset, look for this beautiful orange star next to the crescent moon. Now, it might be a little bit of a challenge because of the glow of the sunset. It's fairly low to the horizon. So this is something that you would want to kind of make sure you have a spot where you can see low to the southwest horizon. But try to see with binoculars, perhaps, for this beautiful star called Antares. You can see it's marked here. Antares is the lead star in the constellation Scorpius. So this is the Scorpius constellation, and it's pretty much faint. You can't really see the constellation. It's a summertime constellation for those of us in the northern hemisphere, visible on both hemispheres, actually. And but the moon being so close to this constellation and very close to the horizon for most of us in the northern hemisphere, really the star Antares will be the only evidence of Scorpius in our night sky this week. If we were talking in the summertime a few months ago, this constellation was really beautifully positioned for summer stargazing. It's really considered a summer evening constellation. So, but now where it's really setting, moving away, the summertime constellations are pretty much moving away now in our skies, heading towards setting, following the sun, and making room for the fall and winter constellations for those of us in the northern hemisphere. This star, Antares, is still visible. So catch that if you can. It's a beautiful sight, Antares. And you'll see that, of course, Jupiter and Saturn are positioned far to the left. So in the southern, pretty much in the southern sky, you'll see Saturn and Jupiter positioned there. So that's really a beautiful sight. Again, Monday, October 19th. This is the sky that you'll see. I will post a sky chart for all of you guys after this show in the comment section below. So you'll see this very clearly pointed out. We've got Marilyn here in the chat room saying, thanks for sharing your knowledge from Wisconsin, halfway between the equator and the North Pole. Absolutely. You're very similar actually to me here in Montreal, Canada. I'm at the 45th degree latitude mark, halfway between the North Pole and the equator. And that means, of course, for us, Marilyn, the North Star or Polaris is about halfway up the sky if we look towards the north. So that's something for Marilyn. Catherine says, could you show your book once more, please? I would like to tell someone what I would like as a birthday present. Okay, well, I've got one here. Actually, I've got it right in the back here. Quick plug. There it is, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky. It's by National Geographic. It's available wherever books are sold, and it's pretty much a beginner's guide. Here, I've got a small copy here. Pretty much, it's a very small, soft cover. Got all kinds of very cool things about the science of things, and of course, equipment and everything you need in terms of getting a start in the hobby, understanding how the sky moves, and of course, very important about all the goodies in the constellations that we always talk about, and sky charts. Sky charts are pretty important. All sky charts, as you see in here, I've got those marked out pretty much for suburban skies. That's what this is made for, marking out some of the deep sky treasures that you can see with binoculars. And I've put in what I call star hopping star charts. These are strictly for beginners to understand how to navigate the night sky with, I don't know if you can see that, if I can get that focus. There you can see the summer triangle, things like that. The teapot is over here, and you have these arrows pointing to different things in the sky, how to find it, how to jump from one place in the sky to the next. So that is available wherever books are sold, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky. Check that out. It's really cool. It makes a good gift, I think, if I say so myself. Yeah, definitely. Agnes is asking if I can buy it in Hungarian. I'm not sure it's out in Hungarian yet. I know there are a few languages that it's being translated to, but I'm not sure. You'll have to check that. I'm sorry. But let's get back into what else we can see in the sky. Why don't we, all right? Here we are. So we've got Jupiter and Saturn. Now, there's something that's really interesting I want to point out. If we move towards this week, and this is anytime this week, I've got it set for this week, you'll notice in the east, rising soon after sunset, is this beautiful golden orangey red star. That is, in fact, planet Mars, the red planet, our neighboring world. And if you've been tuning in every week, you know that I've been very, very excited about planet Mars. Got one model right here beside me, because planet Mars is as close as it can get to us here on Earth. This is called opposition, and that happened last week on October 13th is when Mars was positioned opposite in the sky exactly to the sun, and it gives us the biggest and brightest views of the red planet for us here on planet Earth. And for us sky watchers, this is great because with the naked eye, it just looks like a brilliant orange red star. So as you can see in this sky chart here that I have, we have it rising soon after sunset in the east. So check that out. Make sure you get a clear view towards the eastern horizon. But if you wait for a few hours, and if I just jump forward after a few hours, you'll see that it's rising higher and higher in the sky. Here you can see an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours after sunset. When the local skies darken, Mars will be riding high in the southeast southern skies. And if you have a small telescope, well, that's when Mars gets even more interesting, because we get to see Mars super up close like that. And we actually see it as a disk. And what's very cool, with a small telescope using high magnification, just change out the eyepiece so that you can get the most magnification once you find Mars. Look for a tiny evidence at the bottom is the South Pole. You can see it marked right here. So that is the carbon dioxide ice polar cap, the southern polar cap of Mars. And that is clearly visible through a backyard telescope. So check that out. Dark markings, light markings on the disk of Mars. The dark markings are the windswept highlands of Mars. Lots of mountainous, crater-filled, very craggly regions of Mars. And then the sand dunes of Mars are the lighter colors, where it's filled with dust and sand in those areas. Large desert, duney areas on Mars visible as well. So you can see these kind of generalized markings on the surface of Mars. It's really incredible. It's a lot of fun to just imagine what it would be like on this neighboring world. You know, that's a 1/3 the size of Earth, and it's located about 61 million kilometers away from our planet. It's really incredible. And there it is in the sky, in the constellation Pisces, the fish. You can see it marked out here, that zodiacal constellation. And so Mars is smack dab there, rising in the south, very high around local midnight, wherever you are around the Earth. It looks like a brilliant orange golden star. So don't miss that. It's still this week an amazing sight to see Mars. But now if we move further to the east, northeast in fact, you've got another star coming up. I wanted to just point out to you something that'll be coming up in the late fall, in the next few months for Northern Hemisphere watchers. And this is a really neat star called Capella. Capella is this bright, yellowy colored star. It's nearby to another bright star that is more orange in color called Aldebaran. And so you'll see these two bright stars pinning down the northeast eastern part of the sky, and they will be rising higher as the hours progress. So by late night, around 11 o'clock, midnight, you will see them higher up in the northeast. Capella and Aldebaran, two of the brightest stars in the east-northeast skies late at night this week. Check out, that's an observing challenge I put out to you. Capella marks the bright star in the constellation Auriga, and Auriga is not a very super bright constellation, but it's visible to the naked eye. And then next door to it is Aldebaran, which marks the red eye of the bull. This is a red giant star, and this is another large star. Capella is. It's 42 light years away, while Aldebaran here you can see, which marks the red eye of the bull, is about 67 light years away. So you get these two brilliant stars, one in Taurus, one in Auriga, two neighboring constellations that really will dominate the skies in the next few months. And we're getting a preview in the late night, close to around midnight, is when you see them rising higher in your eastern, northeastern sky. So check that out. Capella and Aldebaran, two beautiful stars you can't miss. This is something that you will see even if you are stuck in the city. It doesn't matter. As long as you've got clear view towards the northeast eastern skies, you will see this. And here's Suna saying, hey, Aldebaran, I saw it again. Yeah, it's so nice and brilliant. Indeed, it is one of the nicest stars that you can see. Of course, Beth is saying, been watching Mars rise over the Gulf of Mexico from Galveston Island. Oh my gosh, it must be absolutely beautiful, Beth, where you are. The views must be spectacular with your surroundings, definitely. And what else are we seeing here? Kael is saying, I saw Mars high in the sky and Jupiter and Saturn making that oblong circle of planet rotation. Nature is great. Isn't it, Kael? I agree. Nature is impressive. It really is impressive. And Hina, welcome from, nice to see you from India. Glad that you can join us. So this is all things that you can actually see from wherever you are in the world. Now, the big sky watching event this week is going to be something called the Orionid Meteor Shower. And as the name suggests, Orionids are really coming from the Orion constellation, which is rising late at night. Guess where? Northeast point of the compass, right? So just where we were talking about Capella and Aldebaran, that is on Tuesday, October 20th, Tuesday night into the early morning hours of October 21st, Wednesday morning. So late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning this week will be the peak of the Orionid meteor shower. And I'm going to set, this is going to be set to around local midnight almost. Here in Montreal, I have this. New York, Rome, Italy. This is around where Toronto, Seattle. This is the similar kind of view that you will get. If you're south of there, near the equator, these constellations will be higher in your skies, and the focal point, what we call the radiant of the shower, where all the meteors appear to radiate out from, appears higher in the sky. So what's really cool here is that we're looking at bits and pieces of the famous Halley's Comet. You probably heard of Halley's Comet. We all grew up with Halley's Comet as the most famous comet. Remember what comets are? They're basically giant, dirty snowballs, some the size of of a small town. I mean, 3 to 5 kilometers across, some of them. Halley's is the most famous. These dirty snowballs, as they come close to the sun, they form these iconic tails, and lots of material gets melted off of the comet. And that stuff stays in space in a train of material, clouds in behind the comet itself. And Earth slams into these debris of material. And when we do, those debris actually burn up in the upper atmosphere of Earth, and that's what we see as meteors, or what we also call shooting stars. And you can see in this animation that all these shooting stars appear to radiate out from one point in the sky. And that one point is marked by this constellation Orion that you see. The most brightest star is Betelgeuse. Now that's just underneath Aldebaran that we were just talking about, the main star in Taurus. So Betelgeuse is rising in the east. So this is around local midnight. So the later that you can stay up, if you can stay up into the early morning hours of Wednesday morning. So I'm talking about like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock local time, wherever you are in the world, this shower will appear better. And by the way, this shower is pretty good in both hemispheres, both North Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere. So all around the world, all of you can actually take part in counting shooting stars with the Orionids. Now, how many shooting stars can you expect to see with the Orionids? Now, this is considered a modest meteor shower, but it comes around every year. So every year around October 21st, we get to see the Orionids peak. Now, the peak hours, late night Tuesday into early Wednesday, expect somewhere around 10 to 20 shooting stars per hour. That's the rate. And that really depends on how much you see. The performance of this meteor shower depends on your location. So if you are in city limits, if you're in a typical city suburb, those numbers are going to be, those rates, hourly rates of shooting stars will be more modest. So closer to the 10 mark. If you're somewhere in the countryside, dark location away from the city, you might see closer to perhaps 20 shooting stars per hour. Of course, that depends also on how much cloud cover you have. So if you've got clear skies, no cloud cover, that's the best. And no haze, no light pollution, you'll see a lot of the fainter shooting stars. Now, the Orionids, while they peak on the 21st, so Tuesday into Wednesday, they're visible already Monday night, tonight, October 19th, while I'm recording this. You can go and see shooting stars already. And well into the end of this week, into next week, you'll still see shooting stars. Even into early November, there's still some straggler Orionid meteor still appearing. And as I said, the name Orionids comes from the fact that they appear to radiate out from the Orion constellation. Very famous with the belt of Orion. You can clearly see here, if I zoom in, you can see the belt of Orion marked by these 3 stars over here on the side. And the meteors appear to be shooting out from the left arm of the Orion mythical hunter. So that is a really, really cool event. Now, the meteors themselves are pretty fast. They shoot out into the atmosphere at speeds of around 50 kilometers per hour. I should say per second. And so that is really, really fast. And you'll be able to see them zip by very quickly. And remember, most of those meteors are the size of a grain of sand. And it's impressive to think, this is where I think it's so cool to think about when you see these shooting stars the next few nights, is that they're bits and pieces from the famous Halley's Comet, which last time appeared in 1986 and will only appear 76 years later, right? It comes around only once every 76 years. So a lot of us, I don't think, might be around maybe even the next time Halley's Comet comes here, visits our neck of the woods near the Earth. But bits and pieces of Halley's Comet are raining down on Earth every year through the Orionid Meteor shower. So do check it out. I will put a sky chart showing this exact thing that I've been showing you, this of where the meteors appear to radiate out from. So wherever you guys are watching today, this is something you'll see, and it'll be visible wherever you are around the world, which makes it so cool. So cool. So check that out, the Orionid meteor shower, up to somewhere between 10 and 20 shooting stars coming out from where Orion is located. So we have that. And then, of course, if we move forward in time to Wednesday, let's see if we can move this to Wednesday now. And we zoom out and we can see, and we go a little bit earlier in the evening. Check this out. Look at what's coming up. This is Wednesday. So this is Wednesday night. You see the thicker crescent moon has climbed higher in your skies, looking towards the south. And look at that. It's in a beautiful lineup with Saturn and Jupiter. Again, this is Wednesday night. Mary Tim is hoping for clear skies there, but there is a lot of smoke, she says, from the Colorado fires. I know my heart goes out to you guys out west too. A lot of fires and smoke, and that is hindering views, definitely. But if you get a chance to get some clear skies, wherever you are around the world, this is going to be visible. So if you're in, like Johnny in Scotland, or Debbie in Boston, New Boston, Michigan, I should say, or perhaps Bernie in Saskatchewan, this is something you guys should all look out for. It's absolutely impressive to see the crescent moon, Jupiter, and Saturn in a perfect alignment. This is on Wednesday, October 21st. Okay, October 21st, Wednesday, lineup of Saturn, Jupiter, and the moon. Now, what's very cool is that at 8:31 p.m. Eastern time, now you got to do the calculation. If you are in Europe, this is going to be past midnight into your early morning hours. But on the east coast of North America and in South America, this is something that you will see, is that the moon, if you look at it with a small telescope, the disk of Jupiter, you will notice this spot right here. That is, in fact, the Great Red Spot, a giant hurricane a cyclone on the surface of Jupiter that's been raging for centuries. It could swallow up 2 Earths, it's so big, and it will be clearly visible in the front face of Jupiter. In fact, it'll be close to the midline of the disk. And so if you're going to be looking at Jupiter, this is, I'll set it 1 hour, hold on. I'm just gonna zoom out and set it an hour later. And you'll see, if I zoom in again at 8:30, where that great red spot, there you go. See, that's about where you'll see the great red spot. There it is. I'm circling it with my mouse. That is going to be visible through a backyard telescope in high magnification. So if you have a small telescope, this is the time to bring it out to see a cyclone, a giant hurricane on Jupiter that we've seen for centuries. It's raging. Imagine our hurricanes last for 5 days or 7 days. This one, for centuries, it could swallow 2 Earths easily, could fit inside of that hurricane with winds of over 800 kilometers per hour. And that's going to be clearly visible on the front disk of Jupiter. Again, that's Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So do your time zone calculate. Eastern time, North America. I'm in Montreal, Canada. At 8:31 p.m. is when it's right in the kind of in the middle of the disk, right there, coming through the midline, the meridian, what we call the meridian. Check that out. The Great Red Spot, great on Wednesday night to see that. And so around 8:30 would be the best time to see. And of course, with the naked eye, what are you going to be able to see is Jupiter along with Saturn and, of course, that beautiful crescent moon pinning down the southern skies in Sagittarius, the constellation Sagittarius. So that's what you're going to see. Now, if we flash forward to another day, the next day by Thursday night, look at this. We've got the moon, Saturn, Jupiter, and the moon forming a beautiful triangle. Again, this is Thursday night, October 22nd. You have a triangular formation of the quarter moon. This time now you can see the moon is waxing. So every night this week from tonight, Monday, as we go to Tuesday and Wednesday, you'll see a thicker and thicker crescent moon traveling higher into the southern sky, closer to Saturn and Jupiter. And then there's this magnificent view of Jupiter, Saturn, and the quarter moon, the half-lit moon in the southern sky. And this is gonna be impressive. So Linda's asking, what size of telescope would I need, Andrew, please? Well, it depends. I think a good average telescope is something like a 5-inch Dobsonian is very good. Dobsonian type telescopes. I'll do a little thing with telescopes maybe in the next show. I'll bring or another separate event. I'll talk about telescopes. But I would say a small telescope with a mirror, 3 to 5 inches, is very good. Solid mount, definitely. And to see like Saturn's rings, you don't need a very big telescope at all. A small telescope will do. Modest sized telescope. Expect to spend at least $200 to $500 on a decent telescope with some set of eyepieces if you're going in that. And for binoculars, expect to spend somewhere between $70 to $300 US on a decent pair of binoculars. So what I wanted to share here is this beautiful triangular formation of the moon, Jupiter, and Saturn. Again, Thursday, October 22nd, after darkness falls, wherever you are around the world. Now, this is, I think it's just beautiful to be able to be able to see these things lined up like this, because you don't get to find some of these planets that easily unless the moon is very close. And if you're new to the hobby, many of you may be, it's totally new. The moon is easy to find, and it acts as a wonderful guidepost for tracking down certain super bright objects in the sky. And that's what we do every week, right, guys? We look at some of the easier and sometimes some of the more challenging things in the sky every week. So there you are. There you have it. We've got the moon pointing the way to Jupiter and Saturn. We've got Mars still high in the southern sky. Amazing to see. We've got the Orionid meteor shower peaking Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. If you get clouded out, don't worry. There's still some Orionids that'll happen later in the week. But the absolute peak of where we get 10 to 20 shooting stars is going to be Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. It really kicks in after your local midnight when your sky conditions get quite dark into the early morning hours. So I'll post more information about all of these events in the comment section below. I want to thank you, all of you, for joining me, taking a few moments out of your day, out of all of our busy days. I hope you do spend some few moments of your time in the evenings or in the mornings, whenever you get a chance to soak in some of those beautiful things in the heavens above. They're really a shared heritage for all of us. They make for something that's easy to see. You don't need a background in astronomy and stargazing. You don't need even any complicated books or telescopes to refer. You can see many of these things just simply by following these little tidbits of information that I've shared with you every week. I hope you find it useful. And if you do, you like it, please do share this video with your friends in your network. I'd appreciate it. Let's get more people enjoying the night sky, the peacefulness of the night sky. It brings serenity. It brings calmness, inner peace to each of us. We all live in hectic times now. And I think it really serves a greater purpose of each of us being able to look up at the sky and say that we share that common heritage. It's the same moon, same planet, same stars that we all see. And it's something that it's a hobby that you can do as casually as you want or as intensely as you want, and you can share it with someone or just keep it for yourself. It's something really enjoyable. So I hope you get something out of it. If you do, thumbs up, please give me a like for this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, whether you're on YouTube watching, on Facebook. I'm here every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern doing this live stream on Twitch as well. And please do follow and share, and you won't miss my next video. So until next time, I wish all of you, as always, clear skies. Bye-bye.